We're Robin and Steve. We left off in the Abrolhos Islands, where in the 1600s people did horrible things to each other. To learn more about that, look up the Batavia in your own time. Instead of gruesome human tales, we are going to focus on the amazing wildlife here.
Hello. Looks smaller. It is.
Oh, it's a female.
How about sea lion? We spent a few glorious days here. Although we feel a world away, we are about to sail towards civilization. Rottnest Island, Rockingham, from where we ventured into Perth, Garden Island, onto Mandurah, and Bunbury. We sail on from Bunbury into rough seas, but Bunbury's as far as we'll go in this episode. It's with big emotions that I take a last snorkel here in one of the world's highest latitude, southernmost coral reef systems. Corals are struggling all around the world, including here at the Abrolhos Islands, which does have vast areas of damaged coral. But it also had some of the largest areas of healthy coral that we had come across. So it's not lost on me how very precious it was to be able to snorkel with this beautiful coral. It was time to leave this tiny landmass with its coral, birds, and sea lions. Yeah, you deserve that rest.
We were to smash upwind toward Rottnest Island, and so we prepared food for any tummy state, from delicate to ravenous. It was late September. Would there still be whales? We know they're migrating south at this time of year. And to our delight, some big pods hadn't passed 31 degrees latitude south yet. We enjoyed whale spotting. Less fun was craypot dodging. Craypots are uncharted, unlit, and unwanted by us. We did get caught up in the dark. That was a bit scary, but dolphins. Wow, it's a big pod. Finally, as we neared Rottnest Island, the wind backed enough for us to do one last long tack to Rottnest Island, Wajimap. This now island was separated from the mainland about 6,000 years ago. Now a popular tourist destination, this was a forced labour camp, a prison for thousands of Aboriginal men and boys. For us, it had been an exhausting trip, and we recovered by wandering around like zombies, looking at the World War II ruins, beaches, wetlands, and lighthouses. To think just over 7 months ago we'd sailed away from Tassie, and now we could see Perth. This tree reminded us that we weren't the only ones who'd been smashed by wind on the west coast. Might as well make use of it. Here, there's been a 1,600 tonne reduction in CO2 emissions per year thanks to the wind and sun. Where we live in Tassie, there are a lot of a little marsupial called paddymouth. But here, tourists can't get enough of the quokka. This may be a bit controversial, but as cute as they are, to us they seem a bit like a stoned paddymmelon with a shaved tail. But unlike the paddymmelon, they can climb trees. Small trees. Just feels weird that a wild animal is this tame. Undeniably cute though. It made for an unusual dining experience. Next it was off to the Wajimap Sculpture Garden. Here is a sculptural representation of the Lewin Current, which we've been in as we've headed southward along the west coast of Australia. To be honest, it didn't help us as much as we would have liked. The current, that is, not the sculpture. We're south of corals now. But here you'll find seagrasses and fancy motorboats. We're due for a big shop. That means we eat okonomiyaki. And I've put a lot of effort into that wisp of a garnish of cress sprouts. Next we sail to Coogee Beach, south of Perth, and past whales and cargo ships. It's pretty good shelter here, with some free moorings and public transport to Perth. But first we checked out Rockingham, where we could simultaneously watch a dart competition while seeing an art competition. For the People's Choice, I voted for this turtle painting. There are a lot of great walking tracks around here, and I think we tested them all. walk and a bus and a train to Perth. Via Fremantle for a cafe experience. On our way to the big city to go hunting for hiking shoes in anticipation of our return to Tasmania. Cities are a bit weird for us, and so are shoes. On the bright side, look what we could get at Fremantle markets. Plus, I got to catch up with friends and do some silks on a slightly higher rig. Meanwhile, back on the boat on the mooring, our next passage would be big, so we took advantage of shops to do some much needed provisioning by kayaking, walking, catching the bus, shopping, and then reversing that with bags of things. That done, it was off to Coogee Marina to get fuel. Docking's not my favourite thing, but we did have the perfect conditions. With food and fuel aboard, we headed to Garden Island, a naval base, which is only accessible by private boat. Lucky us. Some of the tracks were a little bit overgrown. We gave up on this one. There was no point waiting for helpful wind, so we took the no-wind option to this place, which is Mandurah. Not Mandurah, the locals corrected me. We were anchored just outside the touristy bit, so it felt a bit like Disneyland, with its beautiful canals and magical lights, and some good artists as it turns out. This one's by a 14-year-old. Turned out that this anchorage on the other side of the break wall was pretty rubbish for shelter, so we moved on. In light winds and then no winds, and dolphins, to Bunbury. Greeted into Bunbury with a spectacular water feature. We anchored in a few different places while here, as the weather did some crazy things, as it tends to do. And we'll leave off here with Tai Chi on the beach. Join us next time for some more horrible seas and beautiful coastlines, as we head around the southwest corner of Australia on our way back to Tasmania.